Hi everyone, today we're going to make box cakes and compare each one. I have a yellow cake of the Betty Crocker, yellow cake of the Pillsbury, and yellow cake of the Duncan Hines. Also have Duncan Hines creamy milk chocolate, Pillsbury creamy supreme milk chocolate, and Betty Crocker rich and creamy milk chocolate. So those frosting icing will go with each one of those cake mix, and let's get started. Okay, so we're going to start off with our Duncan Hines yellow cake mix. And the instructions are 1 cup of water, 3 large eggs, and 1/3 cup of vegetable oil. Okay, then with 3 large eggs, 1/3 cup of vegetable oil, 1 cup of water. I'm going to break those eggs up. Now the instructions say to use a mixer. I prefer to use this by hand. So we're gonna beat this mix this for a couple of minutes so we get all the lumps out. Looking nice and creamy. Okay, I have here 2 9-inch pans, buttered and floured. I'm going to divide this up into 2. And these are 9-inch rounds, so I am going to bake them to 23 to 25 minutes. All right, everyone. This is our Duncan Hines cake that just came out of the oven a few minutes ago. I'm going to let it cool before I move it to the decorating platter. Just wanted to show you the nice rise and perfect bake on them. This one had just a little bit more cake mix in it, so it rose a little bit more, and I'll use that one for the top. But otherwise, it took exactly 23 minutes and it came out perfect. All right, so we are on to our second cake mix, which is the Yellow Moist Supreme by Pillsbury. And in this cake mix, we need 1 cup of water, 1/2 cup of oil, and 3 eggs. So we have 1 cup of oil, 1/2 cup of oil, and 3 large eggs. I'm going to mix this by hand. That's looking nice and creamy. Okay, and I have 2 pans here, 9-inch, buttered and floured. Okay. I'm gonna get those into the oven for 23 minutes. Okay, our yellow Pillsbury cake is out of the oven and it looks delicious and smells delicious. So we will go on to baking the next cake and then frost them all and see which one we like best. All right, now we're going to try the Betty Crocker Yellow Super Moist. And the ingredients we need is 1 cup of water, 1/2 cup of vegetable oil, and 3 eggs. What I do like about this is that their instructions say you can mix by hand, which is what I prefer to do. Okay, those are 3 eggs, 1 cup of water, half a cup of oil, and I have our pans pre-buttered there. Lift up these eggs. That looks nice and creamy. Okay. I'm going to pour half in here, half in here. Okay, I'm going to put this in the oven as the directions indicate, 23 to 25 minutes. Okay, so this is our Duncan Hines cake, and we're going to frost it using their Duncan Hines milk chocolate creamy frosting. Okay, I'm going to use a standard ice cream scoop just so I have like the same height on each one, and get a few scoops on there so I can kind of measure a little bit as far as the center goes. Okay. I need to try and push some more out to the edge. And then we'll also go back and fill the sides a little bit too. So there's a little bit of a dome on this because I didn't cut it off. I just wanted it to be kind of rustic without trying to make a ton of adjustments. Okay, this is the top layer. Put that on there. Nice and soft and creamy looking. Smells good. Okay. Get all the frosting out. Feels like you need more frosting, but I want to see how this does. Doesn't feel like there's enough to go all the way around. Maybe get a little thin layer. I think my recommendation would be to buy 2 of these frosting cans, just so you can make sure that you have enough. Let's keep going. Now this cake is completely cooled. Okay, we're gonna let this rest before we slice it and compare it. So that's 1 box of cake mix and 1 container of the regular creamy milk chocolate frosting. Okay, now we're gonna frost this Pillsbury cake with the Pillsbury milk chocolate creamy supreme. Trying to kind of pre-mix it a little bit, just so that I can maybe get it to be a little easier to work with. The cake is completely cooled. Okay, those were heaping spoons there. Right. Let's see if we can get some of this spread on here. Pre-mixing that a little bit definitely helped make it smoother and easier to spread. Put that second layer on there. Now, I don't like as much frosting, so I think 1 container is probably okay. But it depends on what you like. Make sure and get what works best for you. If you need another one, get another one. Okay, and that one is our Pillsbury. Okay, now we're going to do the Betty Crocker cake and frost it. A little bit of a mix to the icing and see if we can loosen it up a little bit. Okay, gonna do same as we did with the others, 4 scoops. Okay. Oops. Just smooth this out. I move these to these cake boards just to make it easier to move them around. Okay. Get the other cake on top. It felt like this cake looked a little bit higher as far as how it rised, but when we put them side by side, we'll be able to see because I used the same pans for each cake, and they're on a cake board, which makes them all the same height, and then also measured, you know, the frosting on the inside layer by using, you know, 4 scoops. That also kind of helped to stay consistent as far as, you know, icing each cake. So okay, I'm going to come back in a few minutes, let them rest, and then we'll cut them and taste each one. Okay, here is our 3 cakes. This is our Duncan Hines with Duncan Hines chocolate frosting, our Pillsbury with Pillsbury chocolate frosting, and Betty Crocker with Betty Crocker frosting. So we're going to cut into each one and take a look. So far, based on the height of each one, it looks like the Betty Crocker is the one that had the most height. You take a look there. You see it's up at just over 3 inches. So that one definitely rose the best. Okay, so I'm going to cut a slice out of our Betty Crocker. There's our Betty Crocker slice. And looking at it in comparison, that looks pretty good. Okay. Now, and slice our Pillsbury. Okay. Looks pretty good. Okay. Now we're going to slice our Duncan. And that looks pretty good. Okay. Okay. Now to taste. This is our Betty. Tastes good. And this is our Pillsbury. And that tastes good. And this is our Duncan. It's hard to choose. They all taste so similar. But okay, there's our 3 cakes, and I did take a second bite out of each cake just to confirm what my overall opinion is. And my number 1 goes to Betty Crocker. My number 2 goes to Duncan Hines, and my number 3 goes to Pillsbury. That is my opinion, of baking and tasting all three of these cakes. Number 1, Betty Crocker. Number 2, Duncan Hines. Number 3, Pillsbury. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you do. Thanks.